Anybody else? Yes. He's asked me about John the 23rd and the changes to the Mass. To be frank with you, it had nothing to do with John the 23rd. Paul VI is the author of the new Mass, not John the 23rd. John the 23rd was Pope briefly under the interim Mass, but he was not the architect of the interim Mass, nor, in my opinion, would he allowed Novus Ordo. That was Paul VI's baby, and I don't know why he allowed it. I think he was unduly influenced by Bernini and others, but that's really a mystery to me as well. I'm sorry, you had a question.
I did. Some of the stuff we've gone through, I've seen so much of it. I started reading the Mass by Fortescue.
Fortescue.
Is all of this in there as well?
Yes.
And is it also in that 2-book series of the history of the Mass?
Yeah, the Mass Explained also by Lagrange. Okay. There's a lot of very good. If any of you can get anything by Garrigou Lagrange, who is a Dominican and an expert on the liturgy. I'm sorry, Lagrange was a Benedictine, and Adrian Fortescue was Dominican. Incredible depth of knowledge to the Holy Mass and to the ancient meanings behind the Mass.
I'm sorry, I had a second part of that question too. I've read through the Novus Ordo, through the general instruction of the Roman Missal, and it talks about some of the abuses and things that aren't supposed to happen, and how privacy is placed on the Latin and the Gregorian chant, which we don't see anymore. But is there any more on what exactly is supposed to happen? Because it really it doesn't seem to go over the changes and why they were made or anything like that.
Well, no. He's asking about the changes and why they were made. There is always, and you can find these resources. They're all over the place. But the basic argument with the Novus Ordo is they were trying to get rid of accretions and trying to go back to the ancient Mass. Well, there's a couple of problems with that. First of all, they didn't go back to the ancient Mass. What they went back to was a mix of some of the things that were done in the ancient Mass, as well as some inventions and preferences. Plus the fact that we must realize that Holy Mother Church organically changed some things in response to heresies and in response to the living tradition which was being fleshed out by the various apostles. So if you ask any Eastern Catholic Church member or priest, they were horrified at what happened. It didn't happen with their liturgies, and with good reason. Their liturgies are still based on those apostolic mandates. Our Novus Ordo is not based on any apostolic mandate. It's based on the will of a few men, which is very sad in my opinion. Yes?
Even the English translation of the Latin Mass is more beautiful than the Novus Ordo. Is it possible for a priest to say the Latin Mass in English?
No, because again, Latin is, and this is something I went over fairly extensively in the last talk, needs to go over. It's a very insistent question. Latin is essential to reversing the Tower of Babel. Latin is essential to unification. Latin is essential to communicating in an unchanged language the truths of the faith. You have English, you have a modern language, especially English, it's going to change every few years. That's why we're on, I think, our 6th lectionary and our 2nd or 3rd or 4th sacramentary in 40 years. So English changes, Latin does not. That's very good for doctrine. Yes?
As a follow-up comment on this question, to say the closest that you can come to where it's extremely close of using English to follow the Latin Mass in the Anglican use Mass.
That's very true, but it's a via media, and it's, to my mind, incomplete. There's no prayers before the altar. There are 2 penitential rites. There's no proper closing prayer. It's an ordinary closing prayer. There are a lot of deficiencies in the Anglican use Mass, but it is superior, in my opinion, to the Novus Ordo. Okay, well, I thank you very much. I appreciate everyone coming out this evening. And please, as always, let's keep each other in prayer. We have one final question.
I read a while ago, I got the source that I think it was called Pius V, this is all of after the Protestant Reformation, the church tried to codify things and sort of keep Protestant holding. Pius V said that this Latin Mass, that from the liturgy at that point was ordinary from the Mass. And I'm wondering how will the order in, how the things that are that construction of orders would go against the dictates of Pius V in that regard. That was the whole perpetual. What was the argument?
Well, she's talking about Pius V, and we have the SSPV, which is even before the SSPX. SSPVers, a lot of them are sedevacantists. They don't believe we have a legitimate pope, but they model themselves after St. Pius V. But what we have to realize is that the pronouncement of any pope is infallible with regards to the faith. Now, with regards to liturgical traditions, these things can be modified by subsequent popes. Now, for him to say that it was the Mass in perpetuity was perfectly within his right. And so the modern scholars would argue that these modern popes had a right to change the Mass. I would say no one, not even a pope, has a right to change a Mass that has been celebrated for now 16 centuries. No one has a right to alter what was instituted by the apostles. And that would be my argument, although I understand in being obedient, we have to be obedient to the Holy See, and this was an incredible suffering the last 40 years for the church.